Hi guys and welcome back. Today we'll be discussing the range of head torches we'll be keeping here at Taunton Leisure from Petzl in 2022. So in front of me here we have the Tikkina. This is probably one of the cheaper torches we stock here from Petzl. It's a very simple torch. It has a main beam and that is it, and that produces a 300 lumen output with a few different options in terms of dimming settings. This is the perfect torch for anyone looking for sort of a very simple hiking torch or sort of hiking head torch, or someone looking for a commuting torch as well, so something they will be riding their bike into work or walking to work when it's dark, especially in these months now the clock's gone back. Having that light on you to get home from work is an essential piece of kit. In terms of power for this one, you get AAA batteries in the box with it, and it can run off of the Core battery system as well, but you will have to purchase that separately. So there's a little bit of an extra cost, but we can move on to something a little bit later on that might settle that need if you think the Core battery is what you're after. Other than that, this is a pretty simple torch. It's IPX4, so it is rated for rain. So if you get caught out in the rain, this isn't going to be an issue. This torch will still function perfectly. And just like with all Petzl head torches, you're going to get that 5-year guarantee as well. So nice, reliable head torch, simple to use, not too many complicated settings. So if you're looking for something lowish cost, but still going to produce a good light output, and it's going to be perfect for hiking or commuting or cycling, then this might be the head torch for you. Okay, so moving up slightly, and obviously that price does increase a little bit with this, we're met with the Tikka and the Tikka Core. These are two really good head torches, but they are very, very similar. We'll just talk about the difference quickly, just so we can separate the two. So you've got the Tikka on one side, which is run off AAA batteries, which you get in the box. It does run off the Core battery, but that is an additional purchase. Or you can jump straight up to the Tikka Core, and that runs off of a Core battery, so the rechargeable battery system. You can still swap that out for AAAs, but it comes with a Core battery in it from the box, which is great to see. And there is also 100 lumens difference, so we're looking at 350 here and 450 over here. That little bit of extra light output is solely down to the fact that this has got a little bit more kick with that Core battery. Obviously from the torch we talked about previously, we're seeing a 50 lumen increase, which is a little bit of extra brightness there, and obviously with the Core battery we're looking at near 150 lumens. So it's a much brighter torch, perfect for hiking, especially in really dark conditions, or you can still be using this as a commuting head torch. We're starting to lean more into a running phase as well, because it's going to give you a far better beam of light, which means you're going to be able to see things coming. So if you're moving at a faster speed, you'll be able to sort of see your surroundings a little bit more clearly. What you're also going to get, and what will make this a slightly better torch for hiking, is a red light. So obviously when you're navigating at night, you might need to check your map. If you put the white light on these on, you're going to ruin your night vision. So what they can do with these is we've put a little red light on them, and that means when you turn that on, and that's normally done by holding the button on the top, the red light will switch on and it will give you a light that won't affect your night vision. So you can look at your map, assess where you're going to go, either turn it off so you can walk in the dark, which some people love to do under the moonlight, especially if it's a bright evening, or you can revert back to your white light when you won't have it bouncing directly back into your vision. So it's a really nice feature to see. We're still being met by IPX4, so it's still fully sort of rain resistant. It's going to deal with any kind of rain you're going to have. It's not submersible, so if you drop it into a puddle or anything, there's a chance it's not going to work. You might be lucky, but I would not advise trying it. With these as well, we have a glow-in-the-dark front element, so I'll show you a little close-up of that in a second for you. But what happens is on the front of this is a little element there, which when it's sat in light for a long period of time, it starts to glow a little bit like the dials on an analog watch. What this means is it's going to be a lot easier to find in your backpack. So let's say the lights come in, it's getting a bit dark, you decide it's time to get your head torch out, but you've buried it at the bottom of your bag. The only way to find it is either to turn a torch on in your bag, which means you've probably got a torch you can look around with anyway, or just to fumble around trying to find the right kind of shape. So having this little glow-in-the-dark element isn't actually for viewing or seeing anything, it's actually to make it easier for you to find it inside your bag, which is a really nice feature to see. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference. We also have the locking function on both of these torches, which means you can actually lock the mode. That means that you won't knock it, so if you're doing something where you're fumbling around, there's no chance of you changing the setting, dimming the light by accident, which is nice to see. And you're also going to get an energy gauge with these, which just tells you how much power is left in them. Obviously for AAAs it could be as simple as swapping those out, but with the rechargeable one you potentially are either going to have to recharge your battery, so it will let you know if you need to recharge it before you go out, or you're going to have to carry some AAAs with you just in case it does die. So it just gives you a good indication of how much power is left in the torch, and then you can assess whether or not you need to recharge it or change the batteries in it, which is cool. Okay, and finally we're going to be looking at the Actik Core here. Probably one of the most premium torches we sell here at Taunton Leisure. We've got a few levels above this in terms of brightness, and also a few different options in terms of this lumen spec. But from the range we've looked at today, this is sort of the top contender. You're going to get 600 lumens out of this, so really, really good output. Absolutely perfect for mountaineering, hill walking, hiking in the dark, multi-day camps. You're going to get the core battery in this from the offset, so you've got that rechargeable battery, and of course, if that runs out, you can pop AAA batteries into this if you don't want to buy a second battery, which is really cool. Your IPX4 again, so it's highly weather sort of resistant. It's going to be absolutely fine in the rain, which is really good, especially when you could be halfway through a walk on the hills on a multi-day walk and it starts pouring down rain. The last thing you want is your torch to die. So a little bit of extra protection with that one. You've still got your red lights, you've still got that option to look at your map in the dark without ruining your night vision. You've got a few different options on this one at different beams. You've got sort of a dim beam, which will turn on for you, and you've also got a medium beam and a high beam. And just like we mentioned with the last one, we've got this little green diode in here, so it's nice and easy to find when it's in your rucksack. It's a decent sort of glow to it. It's not too bright that it's going to annoy you if it's hung up in your tent overnight, but enough that if it was in a dark bag, you'd be able to find it nice and easily. We are also getting the locking button system, which is, again, like we were talking about earlier, means that you can't accidentally knock the button, or if you sort of lean on a rock or something, it's not going to change the functionality of the torch, which is really cool. And then at the back here, obviously met with our core battery, which is kept in that sort of water, I want to say watertight, but water resistant housing just there for you. Obviously the core battery comes with this one. It's a really good option. Carry some AAAs just in case that runs out, or if you want to, you can buy a separate core battery which you can fully charge. So you're also going to get the power gauge on this one, which tells you how much power is left in your torch. We've spoken about that earlier, so I won't bore you with that again, but it's a good reference point for whether you need to recharge your head torch, or if you're using AAAs, whether you need to change the batteries as well. Just like with all the other torches we spoke about today, they all come with a 5-year guarantee, which is part of Petzl's sort of promise to you guys as the consumers. So a really nice, reliable head torch. All of these are perfect for a variety of situations. It depends, one, on how much you want to spend, and also what you're going to use it for. 600 lumens may be a little bit overkill for walking back through the city at night, but it might be perfect for pitch blackness out on the mountains. And the same for some of the other torches. Some of those lower lumens might not be quite enough for hill walking, but it might be perfect for your commute home of an evening. So it's very much down to personal preference on which one you want to go for. If you're looking for an all-round torch that's really good for hill walking, commuting, cycling, running, then the Actik Core is a really good option for you. But like I said, it is at the higher spec price range, so it might be that one of the other options is a better option for you. Okay, so that's our video on the Petzl head torches that we're going to be keeping in 2022. We've got a few more models that we're going to cover in a little bit more depth in a future video, and we've also done one of them already, so I'll link those just up here for you. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out and helps us to create more content just like this. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.